أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا وعملا متقبلا ورزقا طيبا آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. So inshallah, today inshallah we will do a very quick review so far. So you guys already have done the alphabets. So as you all know, like there are different school of thoughts about these alphabets. Some school of thoughts, they say, okay, there are 29 alphabets, and some of them say, oh, there are 28 alphabets. So alhamdulillah, so far you already familiar for these alphabets, but what we will do, we will go quickly from each and every letter, but I know it's it's a empty, like no alif bata, but when it comes with any sign on it or maybe in the bottom, so what we do, it changes the sound. So for example, if we see alif is here, so if there is nothing on the top or on the bottom, so we will say alif. But when anything comes on it, like you can see the screen I'm sharing with you all. So the alphabets, there are the alphabets in front of you. You can see it alif, and you can see Hamza on the sitting on alif. So Hamza has the chair on alif, and you also can see a fatha, and there is a sign on it which is called fatha. So fatha is a very this is the line above the letter, and you can, and the sound will be like ah. You know, we say it usually, we when we read the letters a, ba, ta, tha, a sound, like mama, baba, like this. It's a very short vowel sound. So we will not say a, ba, ta, nai. We're not going to stretch it. So don't stretch it. And so if we are not stretching, and very moderate sound, and the pronunciation, because if we see when we say alif or a especially, because there is a sign on it, and if imagine what part of the mouth we are using. We are not using our throat, we are not using our tongue, we are not using anything. We are, even if we see, our tongue is not touching anywhere. So this sound, look at this, this is a totally completely empty mouth, and very thin sound, right? So this is called fatha. And this sign, if it comes on a ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, ha, so the sound will be alif, not alif, we will say a. And if we just try to recognize this sign, so we can practice alif, fatha a, ba, fatha ba, ta, fatha ta, tha, fatha tha, like this. So the entire table we will practice like that. And I hope you already have practiced with your sister. So okay, so inshallah, I will read all these letters with the sign fatha on it, and the sound you will just practice after me. So which, like, you know, there are you already have done the 7 letters, which is called fat letters or heavy sound letters, or whatever you give the name. So inshallah, we will practice along that, inshallah. So if you see the table in front of you, what I can see it, and look at this. So yeah, so alif, and we will because alif, only that time we call alif when there is nothing on it. Okay, so here like I said, is a fatha on it, so we say alif fatha a. So the sound will be a. Ba, fatha, ba. And ba, what is ba? Ba is a very light letter, very thin letter. And this is what part we use for the ba? Do you guys know? Wet part of the lip, very thin sound. And when our two lips join together, especially the wet part of the lips, then we pronounce the letter ba, ba. Sometimes people say ba, ba. Don't make it heavy sound. Very thin sound. Ba, ba, fatha, ba. Then another one is ta, and like you can see the shape of this ba, ta, tha. These three letters has the same shape, the board shape, right? But the difference is, if you see the recognition of ba, how can we recognize that? Because there is a dot and at bottom under the board shape, right? So this is ka ba. And if you see the two dot on the top of this board shape with the sign of fatha, so ta, fatha, ta, very light sound. And then next is tha with the three dot. Subhanallah, look at this. These three letters, the first one you can remember, okay, with the one dot, okay, ba, fatha, ba. The second one with two dots, ta, fatha, ta. Then the third one is sa, sa, fatha, sa. So this way you can remember all these letters, okay? So next, if you go the next three letters, the same shape, but the names are different. If you see this shape, the next three letters has the same shape, but the first one has one dot in the middle. So what we call this letter? Jim. And Jim with the fatha, we will say Jim, fatha, ja, ja. Okay? And the next one is ha, empty. There is nothing, no dot in it, outside, down, anywhere is an empty one. So this is called ha. And what part we use when we pronounce this ha letter? You guys know which part? Because this is also called the throat letter, right? And this is the middle of the throat, a very thin sound. We will not say ha, ha, no, very light sound. Ha, 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 fatha, ha, ha, right? So we are using the middle of the throat, middle part of the throat we are using. You know, we say Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, right? So this is the part we use, the middle part of the tongue, middle part of the throat, right? So next, okay, you can see the difference. The rest of the letters so far we have done, all were in a black color, but this one is in a red. So imagine there are 29 people, and the 29 people, the group of 29 people. So only 7 people are a little healthy, or maybe you can say a little fat. Huh? So this way, everybody has its own name, right? So we already know these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. We already know alif, alif fatha a, ba fatha ba, ta fatha ta, tha fatha tha, jim fatha ja, ha fatha ha, and the next one is ha. And we also know this in a red color, right? So this is called a little fat, a little heavier than others. So only 7 letters from these 29 alphabets are the heaviest letter, the fat letters, or all the time whenever we pronounce these letters, we cannot say like these are the thin letters, or we cannot say, okay, there is a letter ha, or we will say ha. No, whenever we see this letter, make sure the letter sound should be heavy or fat. Ha, ha. And if you see what part of the throat we are using, a very upper, the top of the throat we are using for that. A very thick sound we will give it. Kho, kho, fatha, kho. And ha, fatha, ha for the middle throat, and kho, kho. And the good thing to practice for this letter kho, imagine you have some water in your mouth and you are trying to goggles. What you're gonna do? You're gonna try not to swallow that water, right? You will try to stop that water, and you will say this sound So like this, you say ho, ho. The sound is not going down. The sound is coming out. Ho, fatha, ho. Dal, fatha, dal. Dal, fatha, dal. Dal, fatha, dal. Da, dal, fatha, da. Dal, fatha, da. Ra, fatha, ra. So there is a very conditional letter which is called ra, because whenever ra comes with the fatha on it, all the time the sound becomes heavy or fat. But if it comes with the another sign, like, ra, maybe I'll teach you inshallah later on. So right now, just keep it in your mind, because ra is with fatha on it, ra, fatha, ra. Za, fatha, za. Look at this very buzzing sound. Az, zi, za, za. So za, fatha, za. Sin, fatha, sa. Sheen, fatha, sha. Sod. Look at this. Another second letter which is in a red color, right? So after kha, okay, from this family, 29 alphabets family, this is the second letter which is called heavy letter. Okay, so what sound will we make for the sod? Sod, sod, fatha, sod, sod, fatha, sod. So, right? So, and which part we use? We are using tip of the tongue, that is the bottom teeth, a very thick sound, and the back of the tongue will upraise. Okay, so this is the way we will say sod, sod. Don't say sad, sad. No, so. Like we say in English, I saw you. We don't say I saw you. I saw you. So this is the sound. Make sure sod give that sound. After and right after, you can see another two letters, not another two, actually another three letters, the same fat letters. Back and forth. If you see, before it was the kha, after four letters, sod, dod, to, zo. These four letters also called the fat letters or heavy letters. The sound sod, fatha, so, dod, fatha, to, fatha, to, zo, fatha, zo. So after this, and of course you guys should know which part we are using. Like I said, sod, the tip of the tongue touches the bottom teeth. Even you can practice like that. Okay, where my tongue is touching, okay, is you want to make sure, okay, my tongue is touching the bottom teeth. Okay, and the back of the tongue is raising up. Okay, so dot is again it's a side of the tongue. Sometimes we use the side of the tongue touches the upper side teeth. Otherwise, the entire tongue touches the roof of the mouth. So this is the sound comes the very thick sound. Dot. Okay, so dot, fatha, do, then to, again to, and ta. If you see the third letter in this table, the third one, a, ba, ta. Ta is a very light letter, but the sound is very close to to. But to is a fat letter. So what the tip of the tongue, where it goes, the tip of the tongue touches the upper gums. Try. To, look at this. The tip of the tongue, I'm using my tip of the tongue, and it touches the upper gums, not on the teeth, not on the back of the teeth. Actually, the gum area of the back of the teeth, it's touching. And then we can make a heavy sound. To, to, right? After is zo. Zo again, tip of the tongue touches. Now it's not touching the gum area. Now it touches the edge of the upper teeth. Upper teeth. To, to, and then zo. To, we were using the gum area, but zo, we are using the teeth. And the tip of the tongue touches the teeth. Zo, zo. See? After is ain. Again, before I told you the throat letter was ha. The second throat letter is was kha, and now the third throat letter is gha. And the what we are using? We are using the throat, but which part? Gha, upper, the top of the throat we are using. And kha and gha. Kha fatha kha, ghain fatha gha. These two letters we are using the top of the throat. Like I said, you can practice while you are goggling. Same part, the top of the throat we are using. So these two letters, kha and gha. Kha fatha kha, gha fatha kha, we are using upper throat. But ha is the middle of the throat. Okay, so we will see the next. Okay, which is the pair of, like, we are making the pair, the upper, the top of the throat. We have two letters which is called the pair of top of throat letters, kha and gha. But the second, the middle throat, we already had done the ha before ha, right? And now after za is ayn with fatha on it. So ayn fatha. So look at this ha. You can put your thumb in the middle of the throat and you can feel ha, and the sound is coming out. The same part we are using for the letter ayn. A'u. We say a'u. This sound. A'u. So this is ayn fatha this sound. Make sure use this middle part of the throat for ha and okay. And like I said, ghain fatha gha is already paired with the kha for the top of the throat. After is the next letter is fa. You can see fa, we are using upper teeth touching the lower lips. Look at this. Fa, you can see your upper frontal teeth are touching the lower lip, and the sound is very thin. And look what I'm doing. I'm blowing the air. Fa, fatha, fa. The same. After qaf. Qaf is a very soft, we are using the soft palate, and not soft palate of the, which part? The soft palate of the back of the tongue. And again, it's in a red color. So it comes from the 7 letters, which is called the fat letters. Right after qa is again ka, kaf, fatha ka. But this is the light. The name is so close to kaf and qaf. But the difference, the one is thin, another one is fat, the heavy sound. Right? This is all we are practicing with the fatha on it, right? Then lam. Look at the lam, the makhraj of lam. Which part we are using for the lam? Lam. We are using the tip of the tongue. Where the tip of the tongue touching? The roof of the mouth. The roof of the mouth. No, go back from the gum area, go more behind, and this part we are using for the la. We are spreading our tongue a little bit. La. And we are also, our side of the tongue is touching with the frontal 8 molars. La, lam, la, yeah. Alhamdu, alhamdu, right? So lam, fatha, la. We're not going to say al, no, because this is a light letter. La, fatha, la. Mim, fatha, ma. Again, ma. Before, we use the lips for the ba letter, but which part we use? The wet part. But here, for mim, fatha, ma, we are using the dry part of the lips and very thin sound. And the dry part is the outside. We can see, everybody can see our lips, the dry part. So we are using these two lips together. When we are joining together, especially the dry part, we say ma, mim fatha ma, ba fatha ba, mim fatha ma. You see the difference? For the ba, we are using the wet part, but for the ma, we are using the dry part of the lips. Okay, like we say amaro, amaro, like this. So after is nun fatana. Again, the we are playing with the tongue, right? For all these, only the hamza letter was the empty mouth letter. After, wherever we are practicing, we are using our tip of the tongue, where it touching. So this is the way we are trying to pronounce these letters. So noon, fathana. And if you see, the sound is going in our nasal cavity. We are using our nasal cavity. So the sound, the tip of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth, na, right? But but the sound we are taking in our nasal cavity. We are using these parts. So this is called a nasal sound letter, na, and another one is mim. So noon and mim, we use our our nasal cavity. So it is also called mim fatama and noon fatana. These two letters also called the gunna letters. Gunna means when we take our sound in our nose. And ma fatam, mim fatama, noon fatana, right? Okay, so these two also call what they call gunna letters, noon and mim. After is wow letter, wow, fatha, wa. Again, if you see, you are not using any tongue part, any throat. It's only the empty. So make sure alif, hamza, when it becomes hamza, and the same thing, wow. We are using our lips. We are just adding a wow. When we wow, we just narrow the shape of our mouth and then open it. Wow, wow. But we are not using our tongue, right? So we are only using the lips. We are circling the lips. And then we say wow, fatha, wa. So if the common mistake people do, they say wa, wa. They straight they open their mouth. No, first circle your mouth, circle your lips and make a very narrow circle and then open it. Wow, wow, fatha, wa, like this. Okay, after wow is ha, and this is a very calm, very soft sound. And also we are using the bottom of the throat. We are using this bottom of the throat. And the sound is not ha. This is ha. Hello, hi, how are you? We say na. This is if you see here, it has two eyes, sometimes single eye, but this one, make sure it comes from the throat, but not from the upper throat, not from the middle throat. It comes from very bottom of the throat. Close to your chest. And you can just put your hand on it and you can press it. Ha, ha, hello, ha, ha, right? And now we need a pair for this. Ha. So it comes with the same makhraj. Right after is the hamza. So ha and hamza, they use the same place of the throat, and the both letters comes from the bottom of the throat. Hamza. A, a. Look at this. A, ha, ha, a. We are using this. Ida, ja, a, like this. So this sound, a, ha, a. So far we practice 6 letters from the throat. When we use the throat, we use these 6 letters which comes from the throat, but not from the same part. 2 comes from the top of the throat, 2 comes from the middle of the throat, and another 2 comes from the bottom of the throat, right? And we have to memorize all these 6 letters on our fingertips. Okay, the top of the throat only when we use the we can practice like when we do goggles, ra, kha, ra, kha, and then the second 2 letters with the middle of the throat, a, ha, ha, a, right? These 2 letters, and the bottom of the throat, hamza, ha. And the last one is ya, middle of the tongue, touches the roof of the mouth. Ya. Look at it. Ya. Which part here? We are not using the tip of the tongue. Middle of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth. Ya. Radiyallah, radiyallah, like this. So these are the alphabets with fatha. So alhamdulillah, I think you already have done. So there is even a few letters we can see. We can practice. Even I don't know, Sister Haja has done this. Sister Haja, if you guys have done this, and then I will move on the next letter. I mean, what is called today, if you have practiced with the fatha, so we can move on the kasra if you want. Otherwise, we can practice the fatha table with you. What you think?
Maybe we can practice this fatha table and then move to the kasra.
Sure. Okay. So will you be able to read this? Like I just told you, all these alphabets, if you combine these letters, so what sounds you can make it. And the first line I will do with you, and then you can read these letters with the combined letters, and you can make a word when you combine 1 or 2 3, more than 3 letters, more than 1 letters, then it does, we cannot say, okay, this is a single letter. We will say we are making a word. So if you see the first one, and I'm sharing the screen on with you. So the first one is a, and if I just try to hide this this thing, fatha, and if I say, okay, there is nothing on the top of it, so this is the empty letter. What is it called? What you think?
Alif.
Alif. But if you see anything on the top of that, so that means this is not alif anymore. Now it's changed the shape, and we will say alif fatha a, alif fatha a. Now it becomes hamza, a. So we will say a, and next one is mim, mim fatha ma, and then next is ra, ra fatha ra. Now we will just, if we read it together, but with the half sound, with the short sounds, the letters becomes in a one word. A, ma, ra, amara, amara, right? So why I say ra? Because like I said, when it comes with the fatha on it, the sound becomes a little heavy sound. Amara. The next one is ba. Again, ba, we are using our both lips, but the wet part of the lips we are using ba, ba, and then la. Bala, ba fatha ba, lam fatha la, bala, ghain fatha gha. Gha is a fat letter from the 7 letters. Gha. Also, what part we use to pronounce this? We use our throat. And which part? The upper throat, the top of the throat. Gha, gha, balagha, balagha, amara, balagha. Ba fatha ba, lam fatha la, ghain fatha gha, balagha. Again, thamara. Tha with the 3 dot, tha light letter, mim fatha, ma light letter, ra fatha, ra a conditionally heavy letter. Thamara. Then jam, jim fatha ja, mim fatha ma, jama, ain fatha a, jama'a. So common errors we see when people say amara, balagha, or they say balagha. No, equal length, balagha, and the one count, balagha, thamara. Don't say thamara, thamara, no, or thamara, no. Equivalent. If they have the same sign on it, and each of if you see the each letter has the same length, thamara, thamara. Then the next is jama'a, jim fatha ja, mim fatha ma, jama, ain fatha a, jama'a. Like this. You already maybe practice this thing. And hasada, hasada, ha fatha, sin fatha sa, dal fatha da, hasada. Then ذكر, ذا fatha ذا, كاف fatha ka, ra fatha ra. Equal length, like hasada, ذكر. Then ra, ra fatha ra, fa'in, fa fatha fa, ain fatha a, rafa'a. And if you see fa, again, what part we are using of our lips? Fa, we are using the frontal upper teeth touching where the bottom of the lips. Fa, fa, and blowing the air. Rafa'a, and we are not saying rafa'a. We are not saying rafa'a. We are not saying rafa'a, rafa'a, rafa'a. No, we are just giving a equal length. Rafa'a, rafa'a. Okay. Then za'ama, za'ama, za, zing sound, za, za, fatha za, and then ain again. You should just quickly remember, oh, what part of we are using? Yeah, we are using our throat. And what part of the throat we are using? The middle throat. If someone is just trying to press your throat and you say, so this sound, za'a, but don't make a heavy sound. This is not a heavy letter. Za'a, light letter. Za'ama. Okay, if you see the ma, again, if you see ba, we are using the lips, but the wet part. Then we use the fa, we are using the lips, but only the bottom lip with our frontal teeth, right? The top of the frontal top teeth, right? But here, za'ama, we are using our both lips, but the dry part. What we have discussed, right? Za'ama, ma, za'ama. Again, what I said is a meme, ma. We are using also our nasal cavity with that. Then let's go on the third line. Again, we will focus few things. Okay, sin fatha sa, ra fatha ra, and qaf fatha qa. Why I say qa? Why I didn't say ka? Because qa again back of the tongue, but we are using a very soft palate, and this also comes from the fat family, and fat family member only 7 letters: kha, ghain, qaf, sod, dod, to, zo. These are the 7 letters which is called the fat letters, and qaf comes from that family. Saraqa, qa. Don't say saraqa, saraka. No, saraqa, qa. Right? Then next is sadaqa. Sadaqa. Sod is again from the fat letters family. We will make a heavy sound. So. So. Then dal is a light letter, and then qaf is a from the fat family. So if you see, dal is in the between of these 2 fat letters. So make sure heavy sound or fat sound, then light sound, and then fat sound. Sadaqa, sadaqa, sadaqa. Don't say sadaqa, sadaqa, or maybe sadaka. This is wrong. Okay? Sadaqa, sadaqa. Again, next, doraba. Dod is again from the fat letters, from the 7 letters. Do, and then ra again with the fatha. So both are heavy sound. Doro, ba is a light letter, and we are using our lips and the wet part of the lips. Doraba, doraba, ba. Again, next, zo. Just focus every word. If you see any fat letters, make a heavy sound. Here, this is a word zolama, zolama, but zo is from the fat letters family. Zo. Then lam fatha la is a light letter. Mim fatha ma is a light letter. Only zo we will make a heavy sound. Zolama, zolama. Don't say zolama or zalama. No, equivalent. Why I'm just going to repeat this thing? Because this is a very common mistake we do. Just see, every letter has fatha on it, nothing else that. So we will just give a equivalent. Zolama, just focus. Zo is a fat letter, lam is a light letter, mim is a light letter, and we are using our both lips but the dry part. Zolama, zolama. Okay, then again, I. You should remember we are using the middle of the throat. Adala. See, the 3 letters, but 3 of them are light letters. No one belongs from the fat family, right? So only we don't need to make a heavy sound on every letter, or maybe more than only 7 letters. Just keep it in your mind. Only 7 letters we make a heavy sound, and rest of the letters, all letters have a very thin sound. Okay, so we will just focus only those 7 letters. Whenever these 7 letters comes in any word, we will make a heavy sound. Okay. Qamara. And what is this belongs? Qa from the fat family or from the thin family? From the fat family. Qa, qa. But the rest of these 2 letters from the thin family. Qamara. Qamara, because ra is a conditional. Ra. But whenever it comes with the fatha, we will read it in a heavy sound. Qamara, qamara. Again, ka, sa, ba. Ka, fatha ka, sin, fatha sa, ba, fatha ba. And the 3 of them are from the light thin family. No one belongs from the fat family, because fat family are the 7 people, and those are, I already said, you should memorize on your fingertips. That's all. You don't have to read each and every letter in a heavy sound. Okay, just 7 letters should be on your fingertips. So maybe next time we can ask you, okay, what are the 7 letters who are called fat letters or heavy letters, or they make a heavy sound? Okay, so next is a wa fatha fa wa, jim fatha ja, dal fatha da, wajada, wajada. So look at these 3 letters. No one belongs to fat family. So all has the light and thin sound. Wajada. But wa, we will not say wajada. We will circle our lips, wa, like a cipher, like a 0, and then open, then pull back. Wa, wa, wajada, wajada. Got it? Okay, the last one is ahad. Look, we are not saying alif. We are calling a, because hamza fatha a. A. Aha. Aha. Ha fatha ha. Again, we are using our middle throat for ha. Ahada. The 3 of them are the light letters. No one belongs from the fat letters. But make sure, give a very good sound from the middle throat. Ahada. Ahada. Okay? The next, again, ain fatha a, sheen fatha sha, ra fatha ra. Ashara. Don't say ashara. No. Ain fatha a, ashara. Kharaja. Now you can see kha. It comes from the fat family, from the heavy family. Kha. And again I say ra fatha ra. Make a ra sound. Fat, a little bit heavy sound. Khara. These two. Khara. But jim fatha ja is a light letter. Kharaja. Kharaja. And the last one is ba fatha ba. We are using the wet part of our lips. And ain, for ain, we are using the middle of the throat. Ba'a, ba'a, ba'a. And then tha, ba'atha, ba'atha. See? So this is the practice for the fatha. Okay? So if we go the next sign, which is called Kasra. Before, this line was on the top of the letters, isn't it? That time, what we were saying, this line was on the top of the letter. Then we said, and the Hamza is also on the top, right? And we say Hamza Fatha A. But now, the same thing, but the bottom of the alif. So what we will make a sound, not A, we will make a sound E. Okay, Hamza, Kasra, E. Or sometimes people say Hamza, Zair, E. Zair. Some people say Zair in different, languages. It also calls Zair, but you should remember in a Kasra. Kasra. I know it's a little maybe hard for you guys to remember Fatha and Kasra, but if you see one time, maybe it's going to be difficult for you, but if you just keep practicing, then you will say Kasra. It is called Kasra. So Hamza, Kasra, E. The sound will be E. Like, here, look, like E, in B, me, we. It is a short vowel. Again, we're not going to stretch it. So do not stretch it. And do not make a jumpy sound. E, B, T. Not like this. Very moderate sound. E, B, T. So like this. Alif, Kasra, Hamza, Kasra, E, Ba, Kasra, B, Ta, Kasra, T, Tha, Kasra, C, Jim, Kasra, G, Ha, Kasra, Hi, Kha, Kasra, Khi, Khi, Dal kasra di, dal kasra the, ra kasra ri. Okay, so just note down this part ra. Before here, if you go on here, ra, fatha, ra, and we were making a conditionally heavy sound. But if you see the kasra, then make a very thin sound. Re. Don't say re, no. It conditionally, no, it becomes a thin letter. Re. Ra, kasra, re. Look at it. When I say ra, it's heavy. But when I say kasra, I make a re sound. Ra, kasra, re. Za, kasra, z. Sin, kasra, si. Shin, kasra, shi. Sod, kasra, si. Dod, kasra, di. To, kasra, ti. Don't say toi. Okay, because we know these are the fat letters, but we will not say khoi, kha, kasra, khoi, sod, kasra, soi. No, this is wrong. Kha, kasra, khi, sod, kasra, si, si, dod, kasra, di, to, kasra, ti, zo, kasra, zi, zi, ain, kasra, i, ghain, kasra, don't say ghi, no. Ghain, kasra, ghi, 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 okay? Fa, kasra, fi, qaf, kasra, ti, kaf, kasra, ki. Very dry, very hard palate we are using here. Soft palate of the tongue we are using, back of the tongue. But here we are using the very hard palate, very dry part. Ki. This one is ti. You can feel ti, ti. Here, ki. Then lam kasra li, mim kasra mi, nun kasra ni, waw kasra we. Don't say we, ha kasra he, hamza kasra e. Look at this one and this one is the same sound. E and E. Both are called E. Okay. Then the last one is Ya, Kasra, Yi. Okay, Sister Hajra, will you practice this table with me? Okay. Would you like to? Yeah, inshallah. So just follow, because this is the mix with the both signs. You can see a fatha and you also can see kasra. So just try to make a sound following these signs. Okay.
Okay. Alif, hamza, fatha, a, zal, kasra, z, nun, fatha, na, azina.
And don't stretch so long. Azina, equal length. Azina.
Azina.
Very good.
Ba, fatha, ba, qaf, kasra, qi, ya, fatha, ya, baqiya.
Okay, tell me, ba is light letter or heavy letter? Fat letter?
Ba is a light letter.
And what about the ka? Qaf.
Qaf is it comes from the heavy letters.
Very good. Then if you are making the sound together, what you're gonna focus? Okay, ba is a light letter, so make a light sound, very thin sound. But qaf is a qi because it comes with the kasra, right? Ba, baqi, and then ya, right? Yeah. Make it sound. Make a sound.
Baqiya.
Very good. Very good.
The next one is ha, fatha. Ha, this is the spicy ha bit. Ha, mim, kasara, mi, dal, fatha, da. Hamida.
Don't stretch da too long. No, equal length. One short vowels, huh? Just one count.
Hamida.
Very good.
The next one is kha, fatha, kha, Sheen kasara shi, ya fatha ya. Khoshiya.
Yeah, khoshiya. Don't say kho. No, just one equivalent. Make sure.
Khoshiya.
Okay, tell me, is there any letter which is called the fat or heavy or maybe whatever the name you just said? Kho.
Kho is the heavy,
Uh-huh.
Sheen is the light, and Ya is the light letter again.
Okay, so we will focus on the heavy letters that we are making sure that we are making a heavy sound on a kho. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
With the next one. Sin fatha sa, Kho kasara khi, Ro fatha ro. Sahiro.
Very good.
The next one is
Okay, now I have a question for you, like a kho, kasra, khi, right? What part we use for the kho? What is
Kho.
the, yeah.
Kho, when I say it is, it comes from the throat, so it's a
Mhm.
throat letter.
And
Kho,
which part? Which part?
the upper
Is it,
part of the throat.
yeah, upper part. And what I said, how can you practice this letter kho?
By the gargling, Kho,
Yeah,
Kho.
yeah, very good. Very good. Excellent. MashaAllah. Yeah. Okay.
The next one is Sheen fatha sha, Ro kasara ri, Ba fatha ba. Shariba.
Is there any fat letters or any heavy letters in this word?
No heavy letters.
Mhm.
They're all light letters.
Okay, so read it again.
Shariba.
Very good. Very good. Make sure we're not going to pronounce shaw. No, sha. Not shaw. Okay?
Okay.
Shariba. Yeah.
Shariba.
Very good. And look at this, when you say sha is a light, ri, you are giving a big smile. And when you say ba, you are using the wet part of your lips. Shariba.
Shariba.
Very good.
This is a very tricky letter, the Ain.
I know. And what part we use for the I?
Ain, again, it's a throat letter.
Yeah, but
You
what
can actually
it's
pronounce
a
it
upper?
and check it out from where I'm pronouncing. Throat letter from the, is it from the middle part of the throat?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course it is. Yeah. But try not to bounce it, not to shake that. Sometimes people make two sound, double sound. No, just firm on this letter and just give a one firm sound. Ah, ah, ajiba,
Ah,
ajiba.
Ajiba.
Say it again.
Ajiba.
Very good. MashaAllah. It's a good, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Very good.
And the next word has the Ghain. Ghain,
Mm,
again, it's a throat letter. Like the
very
gargling
good.
sound. Kha, gha,
Goggles one. Yeah.
Ghain, and
Mm,
it's a heavy letter. Ghain, fatha,
mm,
gha, Dod, kasara, di. This is again
yeah.
a very tricky letter for me. Dod,
Yeah.
kasara,
But again, it's a fat letter. Yeah. It's a heavy letter sound. Huh?
and
Ghadi, ghadi.
Odi, Odiba.
Very good. And when we see these two first letters are the fat letters, gha and bui, ghadi, and people think, okay, because we already on a heavy sound, ghadi, and literally ba is also becomes in a heavy sound. Ghadi ba, no, make sure ba is a light letter. Okay, so when you finish the sound, ghadi, and then ba, a little smile, ghadiba, ghadiba.
And when you say do, where is your tip of the tongue touching?
Dot tip is not touching on the top or any, just use the side of the tongues. Sometimes we use the both sides of the tongue we use, and sometimes people are more comfortable to use one side. So you can, it's all up to the person, like how comfortable is that. So you can, if you use all bo, just try to use the both sides of the tongue,
So the both sides
touching
of the
the
tongue
teeth. Yeah,
touching
the both sides. Yeah,
upper
yeah.
molar. Okay.
Yeah, because the entire tongue touches the roof of the mouth. Bod, bod. We are making a cup shape. Bod,
Dog.
bod. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So if there is like two definitions for the bod, sometimes side of the tongue, like I said, touches the upper side teeth. Okay. And or we can say, okay, not upper side teeth, we can say entire tongue touches the roof of the mouth, totally the entire part of the mouth we are using for this makhraj. It's a little tricky, but honestly, the if you see the hardest letter of the this dot letter, if we practice and just make a for air, don't blow your air, just fill it up your mouth with the air and say bod, because my habit, I use the full mouth letter. This is called bod, is a full mouth letter, is a heavy sound letter, and we are using the both sides, or even we are using the entire tongue touches the roof of the mouth. So this thick sound comes that. Wala, we say wala bo. You can see your tongue is touches the both side teeth as well. You can practice like that. So say it, you can see where your tongue is touching.
Inshallah. Inshallah. I think that needs a lot of practicing for me. For that.
Say ro, bi.
Ro, di.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
Ro, di, ba. Ro, di, ba.
Perfect. MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah. The next one here is kaf. Kaf, fatha, ka. Zal, kasra, zi. Ba, fatha, ba. Kaziba.
And don't make it like ka. Make ka.
Kaziba.
Very good.
And this one is again tricky here. It's got all dots mixed up. I need to break them up. The next word. The first one, it is not like a boat shaped ba here, right?
Yeah, correct.
This is like a little bit of a small hook, and then there is a ha.
Yeah, but maybe you guys already identified these when you were practicing with the short vowel sounds. So it comes with the three shapes on it.
Yes.
So maybe maybe you remember or not, but there should be somewhere. Look here. This is the baby practice ba. Yeah, it should be on here. Look at this. This is very easy. This is very easy to remember, right?
Yes.
Very easy when we say this ba, right? But it comes in a different shapes. But yeah, here, this is what I just look at this. So this is, if you already have done, so you should remember, okay, ba in this shape, ba in this shape, ba in this shape. Look at this. So which shape is used here? All the way down if we go on our lesson. Look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one is very easy, but this one is a little tricky.
Yes. Ba fatha ba, kha kasra khi, la fatha la, bakhila.
Yeah, and another thing, because this is a heavy letter, khi, but we will not say khi. we will make a khi. The heaviness will be there, but we will not say khi. Sometimes people say kho, khi. No, khi, khi, ba khi. Okay? Ba khi, is wrong. Ba khi is wrong. Ba khi.
Bakhila.
Very good. Mhm.
This is a circle with a dot on the top. Fa,
Mm.
fatha, fa. And this is lam in the middle. Lam kasra li. Mim fatha ma. Falima.
Okay, very good. And these there are two letters which we use for our lips. What are those two letters we use our lips?
The ba and ma.
No,
And
this is not
also
ba.
fa.
No,
Yeah, this is fa.
no. I know we use the ba here, but here I'm asking there are two letters, fa
Okay.
and ma. So
Fa.
fa, yeah. And what we use for the fa? We use the bottom lip and
the front part of our teeth. Fa. Like a flower.
very good. Yeah, very good. And for me, what we use?
Mim, the dry part of our lips.
Very good. Very good, mashallah. And the three of them are light letters. Okay? So make a light sound. Give me a sound.
Falima.
Very good.
The next one is ya fatha ya. And hamza kasara I. Sin fatha sa. Ya isa.
Yeah, very good. And make sure whenever you see Hamza, Kasra, Hamza, Fatha, and if it comes in the middle of the word, you will give a very jerky sound. Ya Isa, don't say Ya Isa, no, Ya Isa, E sound. Ya Isa, okay?
Ya isa.
Very good. If it comes with the Fatha, Ya Asa, but here Kasra, that's why we say Ya Isa. And also seen a good C sound, buzzing sound. Ya isa sa. Don't say saw. If you say saw, that means you are making a heavy sound for sword. But this is a sa very light letter. C sound. Ya isa.
Ya isa.
Very good. Next.
The next one is hamza fatha a. Ba fatha ba. Ta kasara ti. Abati.
Very good.
Ba fatha ba. Lam fatha la. Dal kasara di. Baladi.
Good.
Mim fatha ma. Lam kasara li. Kaf kasara ki. Maliki.
Very good.
Ha, this is the spicy ha. There are no dots. Ha fatha ha. Again, this one is a heavy letter. To fatha to. Ha to. Ba kasara bi. Ha to bi.
Excellent. Very good.
Here hamza. Alif hamza kasara I. Ba kasara bi. Lam kasara li. Ibili.
Very good. Don't say alif. Say hamza kasra I.
Hamza kasra I. Ba kasra bi. Lam kasra li. Ibili.
See, three of them with the kasra sound, right? Ibili.
Then we have kaf kasra ki. Ba fatha ba. Ra kasra ri. Kibari.
Very good.
Ain fatha a. Lam kasra li. Mim fatha ma. Alima. Am I giving double sound? I don't know.
I just feel like you give a double sound in ayn. Don't open your mouth so much. Just one count. Alima, alima. Like I said, if you see only there is no madhya letter, there is nothing else. So just follow the single sound. Alima, alima.
Alima.
Yeah.
Hamza kasra I. Ra fatha ra. Mim fatha ma. Iroma.
Good. Very good. Irama. Beautiful. Well said, mashallah. Excellent. And just keep practicing and just follow the signs. E, a. And if you see the letter sound with that, then the, na. Otherwise, if you only follow the signs, e, but here e, right? But if you are following with the letters, e, li, e, bari, and it's very good. I like it. But honestly, this is fun. If you just keep practicing, nothing will be hard for you. Honestly, and you will get more. Uh, of course, practice makes a man perfect. If you're not going to practice, you will not learn whatever. So you will forget it. Just make sure every day, get some time and practice these things. So inshallah, one day it's going to be very easy for you. May Allah make it easy for every one of you. Alhamdulillah. So I think we are done, right?
We are done. Yes.
Allah, Jazakallah
Then
khair.
make
Is
a
there
small
any
dua,
question?
Sister Farhat, and end it, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair. So are you making a dua or should I do it?
You may do it, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد ربي اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته